Good morning, D-Gens. What's going on, guys? What is going on? Nice little recovery so far today, huh? Let's go look at the market, see what's going on out there. All right, so I'll jump into the chat real quick since there's only a couple of messages here. Kevin, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Kevin coming in from Lakeland, Florida. Nice. Watch those Gators, brother. Watch those Gators. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on X. It helps the channel grow, and it means a lot. Green Tea, what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. William, good to see you, buddy. Big Kev, hey, Rob and Crypto Fam, hit us with the alpha. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes, brother. All right. Haas in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. I don't see you that often anymore, Haas. Good to see you. Looking delicioso. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right, so if we look over at JASMY here, we've fallen back below 4 cents for resistance. I did a video this morning while we were up around 4 cents 6. And I said, guys, what matters is where these daily and weekly candles are closing, not where they go in the medium term, not where they go throughout the candle's life. What matters is where these candles are closing. Now, we've fallen back below 4 cents 4. We want to see this candle, today's candle, close above 4 cents 4, above that purple line. That's what we're going to be watching for today, right? Otherwise, we're just having a nice little bounce. And, I mean, we got to start getting bullish closes to see bullish continuation to the upside, right? So far, what has happened is we have respected and tested this support level right here, right? It was resistance. And now it's acting as support 3 days in a row so far. We've stayed above it. So that's what we're paying attention to, right? We're ping-ponging right here between support and resistance. We need a break to the upside, and we need to close above this resistance level to continue setting up higher lows. That's what we want to see, guys. Jumping over to Bitcoin. What's going on over there? Look at that green candle on the daily. Now, I'm real conflicted about Bitcoin's chart right now on the daily time frame because we have a nice pump. We're at $100,600 right now. Again, what matters is where we close this daily candle. Can we close this daily candle above $100,000? That is the question that we need answered. Now, the reason that I'm conflicted is because this pattern is a bearish pattern, right? They generally break to the downside. Hang on. I will show you. I will show you. Okay. So what we're watching for in this channel, I'm just trying to find a good example. Just bear with me. Anyway, I'll find one for you guys in the meantime. I will find one to show you. A perfect example. But these will generally break to the downside, right? Is it 100% that they break to the downside? Of course not, right? Nothing is 100% when it comes to charts. Nothing is mandatory. But we go by percentages and we go by likelihoods, right? So, oh, you know what? Yeah, so anyway, we go by likelihoods here. So basically the likelihood is that we break to the downside. However, I showed on the KASPA chart plenty of times how this pattern has broken to the upside. So it's not 100% in crypto, right? We're respecting the 30-day SMA. We're respecting this channel so far. If we can get some sort of bullish catalyst, we had a bullish catalyst today that we're going to get into with the CPI data. So that's why we're recovering the way that we are, because there is, we jumped up to like I think like a 96% chance we get a 25 basis point cut tomorrow. So I think tomorrow. So that's why we're breaking to the upside here. The market is pricing in a 25 basis point rate cut, which is fantastic news, obviously, right? So can we get more bullish news? First of all, can we close this daily candle above 100K? That's what we want to see. We want to see a break out of this structure to invalidate it, break to the upside. Let's frickin' go. That is what we're watching on Bitcoin's chart. So let's go over to the crypto bubbles. See what's going on over there. Guys, if you're new here, make sure you hit the like and subscribe to the channel. The way we do things, we get into the news first, and then the second half of the stream, I will get into the chat. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, put them in the chat. I will get to them as we move along. I'm not ignoring you. I will get to them. I promise you that. I always do. So, okay, so have a look across the market. Look at this nice recovery, guys. Swift up 15.5%. JASMY 13.4% up. Very, very nice recovery, man. Back over a $2 billion market cap. XCN's up 12.5% too. Very, very nice there. Yeah. So, but what we need to see here, guys, is this is if we need to see these daily candles close bullishly over resistance levels. Otherwise, this is just a bounce, and then we're going to pull to the downside again, right? It's just a dead cat bounce, and we may continue to go down and consolidate at lower levels for the next 2 weeks. Or we'll get bullish daily closes today, and we will continue to the upside. So that's why these daily candle closes are what matter, right? We need confirmation of which direction the market is going in throughout the day. So, but right now, everything looks very, very juicy. Very juicy. I love seeing this. All right, let's get into some of the news. Right off the hop, guys, we got some bullish Swift news. Another new spot listing for Swift over on Weeks. Weeks official list exchange. New listing alerts. Here you go. Swift coin, baby. SWFTC. We love to see that. Supra as well. People have been asking me a lot about Supra. So Supra is listed there as well, but another new listing for Swift. Love to see that, guys. Love to see that. Let's get into an article right off the hop, shall we? Let's get into an article right off the hop. Tether's USDT approved as accepted virtual assets in Abu Dubai global markets. All right, so Tether USDT has received approval from the Financial Services Regulatory Authority as an accepted virtual asset in Abu Dubai global markets. As we go down, this significant development allows FRSA licensed entities to offer services involving USDT under the ADGM's regulated framework. This marks a key moment in the UAE's digital asset landscape. The UAE has increasingly positioned itself as a leader in cryptocurrency and blockchain innovation. The approval of Tether's USDT by ADGM highlights the region's commitment to integrating digital currencies into its financial system. As of 2022, the UAE has seen a surge in cryptocurrency adoption, with cities like Abu Dubai and Dubai emerging as crypto hubs. USDT, with the market cap surpassing $138 billion, plays a vital role in bridging traditional fiat systems and digital economies. As the world's most widely used stablecoin, USDT provides a stable and trusted alternative for over 400 million global users. This aligns with the UAE's economic stability, with the dirham pegged to US dollar. Paulo Ardinho, CEO of Tether, emphasized the milestone as a step toward global financial inclusion. He stated that the approval reaffirms the importance of stablecoins in the modern finance and positions USDT at the forefront of Atom's regulated environment. He further noted that the UAE's regulatory approach is setting a global benchmark. It's funny because Tether is getting booted out of Canada, and it's also getting booted out of Europe as well. In August, Tether announced plans to launch a dirham-pegged stablecoin, reflecting its commitment to supporting the UAE's broader economic vision. This expansion shows Tether's dedicated to driving the region's digital transformation. The ADGM is also working with Polygon Labs to implement a global token disclosure process for Web3 ecosystems. This initiative aims to strengthen blockchain trust and transparency, further enhancing Abu Dubai's reputation as a global leader in blockchain innovation. But here's the thing, guys. Circle is taking over in the West, right? USDC. It's taking over in Canada as the only legally regulated stablecoin. It's taking over. It's taking over in the States. There's a lot of talk about the RLUSD as well, or RLUSD as well, in the United States. Europe is just kicking Tether out as well. So, I mean, I think we're going to see over the next few years a transition of people moving liquidity from Tether over to Circle, to be honest with you. And Circle is going to end up taking over as the world's leading stablecoin. But we'll see what happens, right? So I personally am starting to trust Circle more than I do Tether. I mean, Tether refuses to get audited. All right, what do we got? Countdown to November CPI date. Here's what to expect.
Squawk Planner, key inflation data ahead. We'll get the November read on consumer prices at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and poll forecasters expect an increase of 0.3%, and that would be 2.7% year over year. Today's CPI, and then we get PPI tomorrow. The final reads on inflation before the Fed's December meeting, which is next week. Joining us now, Kevin Cummins, Chief U.S. Economist at NatWest Markets. That's a pretty good number. Is that a friendly number if it's 2.7, 0.3, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, I think that sort of number really probably doesn't change the odds of 25 basis point expectation for the Fed next week. It will be, some members of the FOMC will certainly look at it as a stalling out of progress that they've seen in the deceleration in core. This will be, if we get a 0.3 rise in the core, that'll be the fourth straight month. And the prior 3 months, you had gains of either 0.1 or 0.2. So we've seen inflation reaccelerate a little bit over the course of the last couple of months here that, I think it would signal kind of a hawkish cut by the Fed next week and probably dial their expectations back for how much easing that we're likely to see next year.
Well, maybe that's warranted at this point. 2.7, Kevin, is not 2. I know that, and it sounds like, when we talk about most things, who's going to quibble with 0.7%? But that's like 35% higher than when the Fed wants, and it's on top of what's already in there from when we were at 40-year highs a couple of years ago. So, I mean, prices are still rising above what the Fed wants. So do you think the labor market is showing enough signs of softening to where we need the cuts? So the stock market certainly doesn't act like it needs cuts.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of uncertainty with regard to the labor market. So far we've seen a pretty much the Fed's expectation for a soft landing come to fruition. The data have held up pretty well, both on the growth side. The labor market, last week's labor data, you did see a tick up in the unemployment rate, and it, if anything, it almost rounded up to 4.3%. It was just a whisker away from that. So, I think the Fed's got to be pretty careful. As of September, the last time we saw the Fed's dot plot, it did show 100 basis points in cuts this year. So I think they will follow through. I mean, markets at this point are pricing in almost, 85 to 90% odds of another rate cut in December. But the inflation data should give policymakers some pause here as we go into 2025. So I think that's kind of their base case now, is to dial back the expectation of how much easing next year. I mean, as of September, they showed 100 basis points in easing for an expectation of next year. I would think they'd probably cut that into about half. So they would only show maybe 50 basis points in cuts next year. And I guess, there's obviously a lot of rhetoric on the campaign and in the wake now of President-elect Trump about tariffs. So that's another consideration for the Fed, that they, should be pretty watchful here with regard to inflation. That, it may be temporary, and it may be an effort to negotiate with other countries, but if anything, tariffs are a tax on consumers, and prices will move higher. So there's a lot of uncertainty with regard to how much, and it is temporary, but they need to be careful here, and I think that opens the door to maybe a pause in the first quarter of next year. But we'll see how the data come in. If it allows them, which so far it has, you don't have to go back very far when the Fed was expected to be kind of aggressively cutting, moving down toward a more neutral stance. And obviously markets have repriced a lot of that because the inflation data have remained stickier, and the growth data have held up and allowed them to kind of feel their way probably more gradual than most expected a few months ago.
Kevin, as a strategist, I mean, I can name 4 really significant policy initiatives or uncertainties that we're kicking around that are going to happen after January 20th. I don't see how you can make any determinations about anything as the Fed or as a strategist. And I'll tell you which ones I'm talking about. I mean, I don't know what deportation looks like or the immigration issue. I don't know how that plays out. You mentioned the tariffs already. Talk about Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy and Doge, and then just talk about the extension of the tax cuts. And it's not divided government. Every time pre-election, every person who comes on says, well, I'm optimistic that, it's going to be divided government. So nothing. Well, it's not divided government. It was a sweep, even though it's a narrow margin in the House. But you've got one party that's going to be able to basically perhaps do what it wants to do. These uncertainties, they don't make you nervous at 22 times earnings?
Yeah, I mean, I think one level of uncertainty was replaced because we know the outcome of the election. And now it's been replaced by, there's, as you mentioned, there's concerns about immigration, about tariffs, and the overall outlook in general going into any year. There's always a lot of uncertainty, and then you layer those in. I mean, there's always pluses and minuses. So I'm not only worried about downside risks to the economy from any sort of hit to growth or to inflation from this. There are offsets. In the last time Trump was in office, oil prices averaged somewhere around $50 a barrel. So you will have some potential offsets to, let's say, for example, there is, a 60% tariffs on Chinese imports. That'll certainly filter through to the core inflation data and to headline inflation. But then, if a more energy-friendly policy and administration, if oil prices were to go down, that's going to offset some of that. So there are a lot of, possible pluses and minuses when looking at this to consider. There's a lot of discussion about a much friendlier business environment, less regulatory policy.
All these offsetting,
so that could be a plus as well. So,
right.
But to your point, the level of uncertainty is, and we've seen it, in policy uncertainty indexes are up. They're up in Europe as well. So, there's more uncertainty going into a new year than there's probably been ever before in the last several years.
Like I've been saying, guys, 25 basis point rate cut, and then a freeze, a pause through Q1 and a reassessment in Q2, probably a pause through Q2 as well. Aerodrome Finance, new listing on Bybit, guys. If you're into Aerodrome, there you go. Another new spot listing on a great exchange. Very, very bullish there. We know about, so we have Senator Bill Haggerty. He says, Sherrod Brown tried to install Biden's anti-crypto climate activist SEC nominee with an 11th hour backroom deal. A word of warning to my Democrat colleagues. I will have no sympathy for crocodile tears when we move our nominees through the lightning speed next year. Listen up.
Let me explain what just happened here. I just walked out of a Senate Banking Committee meeting where Chairman Sherrod Brown tried a ruse trick where he brought in two new members of the committee, Schiff and Kim. Just added them in the dark of night last night. They've never met nor vetted the candidates that he brought forward. Candidate that he wanted to jam through, Caroline Crenshaw, the most anti-crypto, anti-markets, pro-ESG candidate they could possibly put forward. There's no way she'd withstand proper vetting. This is a backroom deal that Sherrod Brown, in his last move as chair of the Senate Banking Committee, is trying to jam through. I let my Democrat colleagues know I will have no sympathy on their complaints about our vetting process in the coming Congress, because we at least want to vet our people. They're trying to slide this person through without proper vetting. This has got to stop. This is why the American people voted for Donald Trump, for a Senate majority here, for a majority in the House.
Sneaky Democrats trying to pull a quick one yet again. They just don't stop. They'll learn at some point. Rect Capital says Bitcoin continues to hold its 4-week technical uptrend line of support. So very, very good here, as you can see. Holding this, respecting this support level. Bitcoin would likely need to lose this uptrend line if a deeper correction is to take place from these levels. So far, the technical uptrend remains intact. So far, so good. We're respecting it on the 4-week. Something that we'll have to start keeping track of, right? We'll have to watch that, see how it plays out. All right, what else do we got here? Bitcoin price reclaims 6 figures on CPI relief as traders see 110K plus K next. Bitcoin returns to $100,000 after December 11th's Wall Street open as an on-point U.S. macroeconomic data fueled a rebound. Data from Cointelegraph, Market Pros, and TradingView tracked BTC's price gains of nearly 4% on the day. Initially struggling after the daily close, Bitcoin USD pair managed to tag a 6-figure mark. Traders appeared to forget the prior letdown over tech giant Microsoft's Bitcoin treasury rejection. Commenting on the latest market movements, popular trader Skew revealed a passive buyer lifting price. Wide out order book here between supply and demand. He noted about liquidity conditions on largest global exchange Binance. Earlier, Skew had noted that the current point of equilibrium for the Binance BTC USDT pair was $97,000. The optimistic prognosis came from fellow trader Roman, who, on a daily time frame, eyed a completely reset relative strength index, so the RSI. The result, he told X followers, should be a clean move to an area around $112,000. The popular trader known as Johnny on X had similar plans, seeing continued strength following Bitcoin's repeated bounce in the mid-$90,000 zone. The mood was helped by the November print of the U.S. Consumer Price Index, conforming to expectations. In the absence of further surprises on inflation, markets cemented their expectations of a Federal Reserve cut interest rate by 25 basis point cut coming on December 18th. 86% of Fed watchers think the 25 basis point rate cut is baked in for December 18th FOMC meeting. Keith Allen, co-founder of Trading Resource Material Indicators, commented alongside data from CME Group FedWatch tool. Quote, how to see how today's reports influence the market perception and likelihood of getting that cut next week. Prediction platform Kalshi, meanwhile, saw users just as convinced, with the odds of a 25.25 cut at 95% at the time of writing. So odds are good that we're going to see a 25 basis point cut. We got a super chat. People saying Swift's going to 50 cents. A Binance listing coming. Also, did you see SD hit 1.8 every time it hit $1? It goes up free money, easy trade. Nice. Yeah, well, Swift is getting a lot of listings. I just covered that they got listed on another exchange last week, and then today they got listed on another centralized exchange called Weeks, WEEX. So 2 new listings, and yes, I do see a Binance listing coming, probably a Kraken Pro listing as well. These exchanges, Coinbase, we're starting to see the exchanges are starting to ramp up all of their listings like crazy, and that is another indication that we're heading into the bull run, because exchanges, they don't even care what they're listing at this point. They're just listing everything to get fees. They're going to rotate their way through everything, and the stuff that's popular they'll keep, the stuff that doesn't make them much money they'll get rid of. But you are starting to see that influx from Kraken Pro and from Coinbase. Pretty soon you'll start to see Binance doing it. They're all starting to list pretty much everything. So yes, we are going to start seeing it like crazy, my friend. Absolutely. So a Binance listing in the cards. Hells to the yeah. Hells to the yeah. All right. What else do we got? Okay, so we read that. Okay, so CEO of Circle, Jeremy Allier, says dollar fiat stablecoins should be deemed legal electronic money within the U.S. financial system. I'm telling you guys, Circles can end up taking over from Tether globally.
You know, the kind of legislation that, you know, the McWatters bill, as it's famously called, like, it's basically like at the finish line. It's really, I think, addressed a huge range of different equities, as it were, across, you know, non-bank issuers, including bank issuers, clear standards that align.
But if you could just pick the perfect bill, what would it be? What would it say?
I think the perfect bill would say, you know, payment stablecoins. That's the phrase they use, but basically like fiat stablecoins, dollar fiat stablecoins can be issued under U.S. federal statutes and laws, where those dollar stablecoins that are issued are deemed to be legal electronic money in the United States. They could be treated as cash or cash equivalent financial instruments within the financial system, within accounting standards, would have a set of federally driven supervisory standards that
For the issuer? For the issuer?
For the issuer. So the
legal certainty that if the thing is issued both for the issuer and the user, it's a real thing, it's money. Number one. Number two, minimum standards for someone to issue so that we can be comfortable.
That's right. Minimum standards that are, you know, consistent with good prudential risk management, right? That has to do with the, you know, the makeup of the firm, the operational capabilities and resilience, the compliance capabilities, like the things that you'd want for a money issuer to have. And I think those standards should be defined, you know, they need to be defined by like the prudential, you know, regulators in a short period of time, like maybe 6 months after the bill is put into law. That's what we've seen around the world. Like some have taken a year, some have taken 6 months, but let's just say 6 months, 180 days to come up with that rule. And to have a framework then where a stablecoin issuer can become an issuer at a state level. So you want to go to New York State and be an issuer, or you want to go to California and be an issuer, you can do that, but you have to follow those standards. And just like we have a dual banking system where you've got state and federal banks, you can have state and federal stablecoin issuers. And obviously, the bigger you get, there's some threshold of size complexity where you're probably going to need some federal overlay, right? But if you're small and getting started, we need the ability for startups to be able to get into this and not have this huge burden. And so this needs to encourage startups to be able to get into this field, but then graduate into greater levels of supervision. And, and I think the reserve model should be as safe as possible, right? Those are really well defined. I think there should be capital rules that are tailored to the size, scope, complexity, risk of the stablecoin issuer, and based on the common, what would largely be fungible reserve standards, which would be like repo, T-bills, cash.
It bothers me that he doesn't have any eyebrows. Anyway, guys, one of the main reasons that Circle's going to take over Tether in the United States is because Tether is not a U.S. They don't have jurisdiction over Tether in the United States. They do have it over Circle. So obviously they're going to bump out Tether. When they have control, they can control. Government's about control. If they can control the primary stablecoin in the world, then that's the one they're going to accept, right? Tether's going to get bumped out. Tether refuses to get audited properly. For me, that's the biggest red flag of it all, right? All I hear is excuse after excuse. It's like putting my son to bed, my 4-year-old son. It's like putting him to bed. He's always, oh, just one more thing, Dad. Just one more thing. Like, did you see this? And I got to show you that. And, this, that. That's Tether. Get audited. Yeah, but just one more thing. Get audited. Yeah, but just one more thing, right? They won't get audited at the end of the day. So screw them. I don't trust them. They don't want to get audited. Take it somewhere else, boys, right? You're not holding my money. All right, so another $1 billion in USDT has been minted at the Tether Treasury today as well. Another $1 billion coming into the market. Very, very bullish there. Publicly traded company Riot Platforms just bought $68 million worth of Bitcoin today as well. We continue to see that adoption. Guys, I don't know if you're a fan of SPX 6900, but they just got listed on Kraken Pro. So tier 1 listing for them. Very bullish as well. The news just keeps rolling out, guys. Michael Vandepop says it's always harsh when the altcoin correction 30% in 2 days. It's a volatile market. However, it would be best to if you realized that these drops, A, provide tremendous opportunity, and 2, these will happen multiple times per month. The altcoin bull market has just gotten started. Patience is key, guys. Patience is key. All right, what else do we have? Crypto quant statistics. There is only 13.180 billion JASMY tokens available on exchanges, guys. That's it. The max supply is 50 billion. On exchange reserves, there's only 13.18 billion available to be purchased. Okay? Put that into perspective for you. Supply and demand, guys. Supply and demand. Now, courtesy of Lil Bidman, he says the JASMY Sagantosu metaverse is here. Jump in and participate. He put forth a little video of the JASMY Sagantosu metaverse, guys. Check it out. There's no sound, but he just put this little clip together from his phone over on the PDL app on the Apple phone, the Apple iPhone. Check it out, man. Pretty cool little clip. He's playing soccer. It's just a cool little clip of the JASMY Sagantosu metaverse that they're putting together. Bet you didn't know JASMY was putting together a metaverse, eh? You do now. Apparently, you can get it on the Google Play. That's what it just showed. So I know you can get it on the Apple iPhone. I'm going to try to get the link to the Google Play so you can get it there if you have a Google phone. I supplied everybody over on the Patreon the link for the Apple to be able to create their their PDLs over on their Apple iPhones. So I'll see if I can get you guys the Google link for the Patreon as well. There's a lot of people over on the Patreon right now that are already collecting DD points on their PDL through Apple. And they're going to be able to convert that into free JASMY coin, right? Just by answering questions and playing games on there, right? So again, just one more service that we provide over to the Patreon members, guys. Pretty cool little clip, though, courtesy Little Bidman. So thank you so much. Shout out to him. All right. So a lot of people don't like him, but Jack Mullers says Bitcoin is the most pro-American money we've ever come across.
Listen, I'm 30 years old, man. And that to me is relevant in two ways. One, I've grown up with millennials. A lot of my age group and my friends and my peers are at that point in their life where they're trying to become homeowners. They're trying to find a way to finance a family and reproduce. They're trying to fall in love. They're trying to justify expenses and build a future and a life that they deem is worth living. And trying to understand how to finance that is increasingly difficult because of all the debt, because of all the burden, because of all the inflation. And then on top of that, I myself, the only dream I have that's greater than being a Bitcoiner and being the CEO of Strike is being a father. And I think about the fact that I'm going to be raising kids someday. And so the relevance for me is, you know, for the people that I love and care deeply about, I'm seeing a lot of pain in kids. Well, we're not kids anymore, but people my age, they aren't close to owning a home, aren't close to exiting the debt that they've accrued in their life, aren't close to having a sustainable lifestyle, aren't close to being able to have kids with the people they're falling in love with. And I'm thinking about where I would want to raise my kids, Preston.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think that what I've communicated to the public and to the US government and whoever's been willing to listen to me is this. The Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, in my opinion, is one of the biggest economic announcements to come out of the United States of all time. I think it's on par with Nixon in 71. What I think is different is that it's positive. And I really want to hang my hat on that one, in that the U.S. made a really big economic announcement in 1933, but what was it? It was that we're confiscating all your stuff and we're going to really threaten the idea of property rights. They made a really big one in 1971, but what was it? It was we're divorcing ourselves from the gold standard. We're not going to be governed by the laws of Mother Nature and the physical realities of the universe. We're going to be able to print money. They made a really big one in 2008, and what was it? Is we're going to bail out a lot of the mistakes on Wall Street and correct the wrongdoings and not let the free market and the business cycle complete. If we make an announcement in 2025 and lean into Bitcoin, it's not defensive. It's not reactionary. It's progressive. It's positive. To me, supporting Bitcoin is pro-technology. It's pro-innovation. It's pro-freedom. I think Bitcoin carries a lot of the American ideals that the country was founded on. It's equal rights, equal coming and going, equal and opining. There's rules with no rulers. It's land of the free, home of the brave. It's where dreams come true. It's where you migrate towards to have future prosperity and a future you can believe in. And that's my messaging to the public and to the government is this is the most pro-American money we've ever come across. And it's pro all the ideals that I consider American and why I want to be in this country. I think that it will help aid all of the issues that active 30-year-olds, my friends and my peer class deals with in closing the deficit, strengthening the balance sheet of our country. And it will give me a lot more confidence in raising my future kids here. And so I think it's well worth getting that rhetoric out and that messaging out and just drawing the contrast to that economic announcements in this country have been defensive and have been against the best interest of the public. And we're talking about an economic announcement that is addressing problems, arguably the biggest problem we have, aiding towards the quality of life. Like, let's get something straight. The governments around the world only own 2-3% of the outstanding supply of this asset. So who owns it? The public, the people. So it's an asset that acts in the best interest of the public, that everyone has access to. Satoshi Nakamoto did not go to Goldman Sachs and say, hey, I created a new money, I'd like to take it public. It wasn't uneven fair distribution. He used mining, he used proof of work to make sure that the public and the people have access to this asset. So for all of those reasons, I think the US government supporting this is not only acts in my best interest as a Bitcoiner, and I think acts in their best interest in regards to the deficits. I think it's very pro-American and addresses all of the fundamental issues that all of us Americans are feeling. All of us 30-year-olds are like, I'm never going to be a homeowner. I'm never going to be a dad. I'm never going to exit debt. And whatever KPI and metric you care about to subscribe yourself to that thesis, listen, divorce rates are going up. At one point, life expectancy was going down. Suicide rates are going up. I mean, obesity rates are going up. What human KPI would you correlate to a degrading society? And I think all of this is a function of broken currency, broken money. And I think the US supporting new technology that addresses that, and the fastest growing technology on our balance sheet, is just pro-America. So I'll end my rant there, but I think that's been my stance, and I think it's well worth the energy and the time to be vocal about that.
Not one for being a Bitcoin maxi, but he does bring up some good points. You have to give him that, right? Courtesy Little Bidban. More great JASMY-related news from JASMY's partner, CyberTrust. CyberTrust is actually the partner that JASMY operates with to have their technology integrated into the Apple iPhones and the My Number card. CyberTrust starts providing an SDK that makes it easy to verify your identity using the digital agency digital authentication app. That's right, JASMY technology. Boom. You love to see that, guys. JASMY's partners making big waves. All right, what else do we have? We got Ondo news, guys. You guys know I'm big on Ondo. Ondo just got a new listing on CoinStats, so very bullish there. Good for my Ondo bags. Good for my Ondo bags. More piggybacking off of that. We got more Ondo news. A whale has been accumulating Ondo for the past 5 days. Check this out, guys. Over $4 million purchased in Ondo on Coinbase. Absolutely fantastic. Again, my portfolio loves to see that. Let's go have a look at Bitcoin again real quick. It's climbing. It is climbing. $101,119. If we go over and have a look at the Bitcoin dominance, continuing to climb to the upside, the Bitcoin dominance, 3 green daily candles in a row for Bitcoin dominance. It's going to continue to climb from the looks of it, guys. So fantastic. I mean, for me, nothing has changed in terms of my timeline and when I'm exiting the market. So whether Bitcoin dominance starts to climb right now and Bitcoin goes on another tear and altcoins kind of just slowly melt up like they had been before this kind of crash happened, that's fine with me. What I would say, though, is that I put together a great video this morning, and I uploaded it over on the Patreon this morning, talking about when I'm exiting the market, when I'm taking a lot of profits off the table, and it may surprise you, and when I'm re-entering, and my whole strategy around that. So if you want to know my plans for when I'm exiting and all that stuff, you got to get over to the Patreon, guys. I just uploaded a video there today. Definitely worth checking that out. What else do we have? Bitcoin liquidity is sitting above 105,000. Look at these people. So this dart, if you don't know what this is, guys, this is a liquidation chart, right? Leverage chart, basically. So the light green and yellow, this is where the most shorts are. This is where a lot of people have all their short orders, right? Between 100 and about 3,000 and 105,000, there's a massive amount of shorts. Now, what's going to happen to these shorts if Bitcoin goes to $105,000, new all-time high? Well, check it out. $4.5 billion worth of Bitcoin shorts will get liquidated if Bitcoin hits new all-time high of 105. Guys, that would mean a big short squeeze, a big jump in Bitcoin to the upside, so that we will be paying great attention to, right? That could be our next big leg up. Another big announcement by IoTEX, company JASMY just partnered with to bring DPIN to Japan. Blockchain Association says we're thrilled to welcome IoTEX to the Blockchain Association. Yes, JASMY's brand new partner is now a part of the Blockchain Association. Absolutely fantastic. All right, what else do we got? Check this out, guys. This is hilarious. MSNBC hit piece on crypto. Bitcoin is the bad guy, right? Check this out. They just don't stop, man.
And in the new Congress, a Senate Republican, I want you to please pay attention to this. I know you want to tune out, but please don't. They plan to propose a bill that would sell off some of the Federal Reserve's gold to buy Bitcoin. Watch this.
Have we got a present for President Donald Trump? Here it is. This is the Bitcoin Reserve Bill. Over 5 years, the United States will assemble 1 million Bitcoin, 5% of the world's supply. And it will be held for a minimum of 20 years and can be used for one purpose: reduce our debt.
Well, Cynthia Lummis, you can take that bill and sit down with me any night of the week, and I would love to go through every word, every paragraph, every page. But I'd first like to know how much the crypto industry has given you, because for fact's sake, you cannot pay debt down with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin crosses the $100,000 mark, like it did last week, that means it would cost the government at least $100 billion. And former SEC official John Reed was on 60 Minutes last night to sound the alarm about just how dangerous this industry is.
Yes. However, how much in 20 years will Bitcoin be worth? $100 billion to buy it now. Well, let's look at the progress of Bitcoin over the last 14 years. It went from a fraction of a penny to $100,000. So you add another 20 years on top of that growth cycle, $100 billion being spent, you would probably 25, 50x that $100 billion. Yeah, that's a really bad business decision, right, lady?
Crypto is a scourge. It's not something that you want in your society. It has no utility. It's just pure speculation. Remember,
it has no real utility. Do I even have to walk through all of the utility from the tens of thousands of cryptos out there and what they do? That's like saying the S&P 500, all of the companies that have stocks in the S&P 500, they have no utility. They don't do anything. That's exactly what he's saying. He's just saying misinformation on television.
Balance sheet to crypto. There's no financial statements. Every single crime you can conceive of is easier to do now because of crypto.
False. It's actually easier to catch criminals because of blockchain technology. Every transaction is recorded permanently, cannot be altered, cannot be deleted. It is actually easier to catch criminals with blockchain technology than it is with cash.
Especially ransomware, human sex trafficking, sanctions evasion, money laundering. North Korea is financing their nuclear weapons program using crypto.
Every crime you can think of is exponentially easier because of crypto. Here to discuss, Zeke Fox, investigative reporter for Bloomberg Businessweek and Bloomberg News. He's the author of Number Go Up, Inside Crypto's Wild Rise and Staggering Fall. Dan Nathan's still with us. I don't even want to say this would be the biggest bailout to crypto ever, because they don't need a bailout. They're not in trouble. This would be the biggest bonus boon right there before our eyes, transferring billions of dollars to an industry we know almost nothing about, that's packed with money laundering and bad deeds.
You know almost nothing about. Most other people who are involved in it and do their research know everything about it. See, that's the problem. She's correlating the fact that she didn't do any research, that she doesn't know anything about it, that most people don't know anything about it, right? I can't even watch this any further. It's embarrassing that we allow. And then at the same time, we have the press, right? These prominent figures in the press who are coming and saying how angry they are that people don't trust the press, right? Well, people don't trust the media anymore. Why don't they trust us? We're the greatest, and we're the media, and we always tell the truth. We have integrity. You're literally lying on national television right now. And then they say, well, why don't you trust us? This is why media is dying, and platforms like X and Elon Musk are saying that you are now the media because these people have agendas, right? They're being paid to say this stuff. So it's embarrassing. It's truly embarrassing. Media is going the way of the VHS tape, guys. States in the U.S. are now competing. Another state takes action on Bitcoin reserves. As we wonder whether Donald Trump will deliver on his promise of a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the United States, the idea of adopting Bitcoin at the state level is gaining momentum. At this point, the latest news came from Alabama. Alabama State Auditor Andrew Sorrell has proposed the establishment of a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Sorrell urged Alabama residents to adopt the Bitcoin reserve to protect them from inflation and the economic risks of global de-dollarization. Sorrell said that the Bitcoin value is not affected by the US dollar, that it will strengthen the US balance sheet, and that it could be used as collateral for future debt issuance. Satoshi Action Fund co-founder Dennis Porter explained the potential consequences of such a move from Alabama and the U.S. in particular. The adoption of a strategic Bitcoin reserve would greatly escalate the supply-demand crisis. As more institutions and governments compete for Bitcoin, supply will continue to decrease, putting upward pressure on the price. Porter also stated that he predicted that a strategic Bitcoin reserve would be created by a G7 member country and a BRICS member country by the end of 2025. And we just covered how Russia just recommended that they create a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Porter stated that in 2026, the remaining members will fall like dominoes regarding the Bitcoin reserve. So very, very big, guys. I keep saying it, man. I keep saying it. Supply and demand, supply and demand. We got one more video to get through here, guys. CTV News reports that Vancouver will consider a proposal to integrate Bitcoin into the city today.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Vancouver City Council is set to debate a proposal by Mayor Ken Sim later this morning in the hopes of turning Vancouver into a Bitcoin-friendly city. CTV's Yasmin Gandam is in studio this morning for us. Good morning, Yasmin. So what exactly would this mean for taxpayers?
Good morning, Carrie. Well, what this would mean if it got approved is accepting payments for city services could be in cryptocurrency. Sim is an investor himself in Bitcoin, and he believes it would be irresponsible for the city to not look at the currency in the age of inflation and the current volatile market. Sim's motion would direct city staff to look into how to integrate Bitcoin, including potentially accepting taxes and fees cryptocurrency. He also believes investing in Bitcoin is good for the environment, but that is still up for debate. Sim says investing in Bitcoin could actually help with issues of affordability. Take a listen to what he had to say about this motion last week when he introduced it.
We're going to basically give sovereignty to people, control of their lives, and people are going to be able to live in homes. They're going to be able to do that. So how isn't that cool?
There's probably some people watching thinking, not sure about this, Yasmin. So what are some of the concerns with this motion?
Well, absolutely, Carrie. There's a lot of questions here. We did hear from a few law professors about the motion. There are concerns that introducing Bitcoin would actually make it more difficult to balance out expenses, and some disagree that it would help Canadians suffering with housing and food costs. We'll have to wait and see what council says when they debate this motion later this morning. Carrie?
Hey, Yasmin Gandam joining us this morning. Thank you.
Canada getting on board, guys. Canada is getting on board. I love to see it. I love to see it. Let's go back over to the Bitcoin chart. All right, guys. Let's get into the chat, see what everybody's talking about. Let me scroll up to the top here. All right, what do we got? Demetrius, any XCN news? I just did a XCN Onyx Coin live stream with Wes, who is Onyx Coin ambassador, last night. So I would recommend going to check out that live stream. If you want the latest and greatest. We do a live stream every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central in Onyx Coin live stream with Wes, the Onyx Coin ambassador. So if you want Onyx Coin updates, that is where you want to be, guys. AK Pete, good evening. What's up, man? Good to see you. Yamaha, enable the crypto future pump, baby. We are activated. I'm always here, buddy. Just don't chat often. Nice. Well, I'm glad you're here, brother. I'm glad you're here. X marks the spot. What's going on? Jetpack. What's good, brother? What's good? Dumb money. Rob, does that BTC pattern have 3 touch points, meaning coming down? It's got 3 touch points on the downside and only 2 on the top. So, as you can see, Rob, do you have any other bags you will be holding as moon bags other than JASMY? Personally, I'm holding 50% of my H bar. Nope, not really. No. Jetpack, XCN, and Swift. Absolutely, brother. Shane, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Tommy, Rob, how are you liking Turbo? Where do you think it will go? I could see Turbo hitting 10 cents, man. I could see it hitting 10 cents. Bruno, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. 3K Sports Unlimited in the house. Hey, Rob and community, have a blessed day the rest of the week. H. Barbarina in the house. What's up, man? James here, Rob. What's the story, pal? I was in the green on my pap. I don't know what that means, but the story is things are looking good, brother. Sun is hot in the house. Yoda by the dip. Lily, yo, what's going on, Lily? I read that centralized exchanges are freezing accounts that use VPNs. I don't know how true that is. That's the first I've heard about it. I haven't heard anything about that. Funky, what's up, man? Planted a few seeds and look, they all grew. Nice. Liquidity, good morning. Hope you and your portfolios are doing amazing. Things are looking good, man. Things are looking good. Nice call on the fake out, Rob. I hope nobody got shaken out. The fun, yeah. That's what we do. We make those calls, baby. We make those calls. Jesse, man, what's going on? What is Swift's current resistance? It's battling. Seems to be right at a penny. 1 cent one. It's right in that 1 cent one range. Is where it's kind of meeting that resistance. I'll pull it up here. Yeah, we're just kind of ping-ponging inside this symmetrical triangle right now. But, yeah, it keeps hitting that around that 1 cent. Well, it's 98 right now, but right about here, 1 cent one, top of the trend line here. That's where it keeps hitting resistance. Eventually, it will break out. But for now, we just ping-pong inside of here, right? I'll take it until we get that confirmed breakout. We need a breakout. Here's what we need. We need a breakout of this symmetrical triangle, a retest of it before we can continue to the upside. That's what I'm watching for on Swiftcoin for sure. So market back at it. Love to see it. Absolutely, man. Tommy, how you feeling? I'm feeling good about Turbo. I'm feeling good. Turbo is up like 38% or something like that today, isn't it? 40%. It's back at it's 1.5 cents right now. Turbo is flying, guys. Turbo is flying right now. Answered that already. Where am I? I am JASMY. We're all JASMY. Tyler, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Lady, isn't it? Yeah, she is. We're sending 50 billion to, yes, XEN to the moon. Magic Power, what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Metal Detecting, what's good, man? XCN to the moon, absolutely, man. Junior, Rob, when you show us these clips of videos of JASMY or any other coin, can you link the videos in the description so that way people can watch it whenever they can just watch the replay of the live stream, brother? I mean, I could. I mean, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of videos I play, right? It's a lot of work, but people could just watch the replay of the live stream. Chappie, boom, green today, baby. Absolutely, man. Tiger, can't wait to after December 15th. Yes. Del Boy, hey Rob, you sound much better. Let's go. Yeah, I'm feeling better. I got some energy today, man. I got some energy today, right? Some kids almost crapped their pants last night at the gym. I was bench pressing about 315 on decline flat bench, and they were crapping their pants on the bench beside me. Lord of the Realm, good afternoon. What's up, buddy? Death Bank in the house. What's up, man? All right, guys. So listen, that's the news. We're all caught up in the chat. Make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow, guys. It's almost Christmas. Do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Help the channel grow. Also, guys, schedule your one-on-one coaching sessions over on the Patreon. If you want to know what I'm doing with my portfolio, or if you're new to crypto and you don't have an exit plan, an exit strategy, you don't have a profit-taking plan, get over to the Patreon and we will help you design an exit strategy over there, guys. We do one-on-one coaching sessions. We also do group Zoom calls over there every single day, where it opens a window for the entire community to have a voice, and everyone can help each other. Everyone can talk in real time, get their questions answered, helping each other and stuff, guys. It's a fantastic little opportunity that I provide for all of the Patreon members. It's a fantastic time. It's a fantastic community. I'm very proud of the community that we've built over there, and everyone's helpful. We have everyone from seasoned veterans to beginners, and it's an absolutely great time. So get over to the Patreon, join the community, join the group Zoom calls, schedule your one-on-one coaching sessions, and I will see you guys tonight at 8 p.m. Central for the next live stream. Peace.